All right, well, let me go ahead and share this on the screen. This is something that the NBA has recently introduced, and this is what it is. It's the gravity leaderboard, and according to the caption on this post, it quantifies which players bend the defenses the most. It sounds like something that was taken off of a conversation that we've had here on the panel, but I don't know. We've talked about a lot of gravity, and we've talked about a lot of bending of the defense. But shout out to Amazon Web Services. Maybe they are tapped into the panel. Maybe they do hear our conversations. Either way, this is what the leaderboard looks like. 19.9 from Steph Curry. He is number one, and he is at the top of the league in terms of gravity and bending defenses. At number two, lo and behold, who would have thought? Kevin Durant's gravity is still at an all-time high, 17.3. He's number two in the league. At number three, to Real Talk's point, at 17.1, Ant-Man Anthony Edwards is number three. At number four, yes, you guessed it, Luka Doncic, 16.1 at number four. And last but not least, at number five, we have James Harden at 15.1. Do we have any context as to what exactly this may mean?
What are they measuring? What does 19.9 mean? Can someone just help me out here?
They had an example play.
Chill's gonna love this one with the AI, man.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on, wait.
What does 19.9 mean? Does that mean 19.9 times you bend a defense per game?
Oh, here's the explanation for it.
This is some.
So introducing gravity, a new stat powered by AI that shows who pulls the defense above expectation, tracks defensive pressure on and off the ball. Season-long averages reveal the NBA's biggest gravity creators.
This kind of seems like a subjective stat in a sense, no?
Yes. Who pulls?
So essentially,
what does pull defense mean to AI?
What does that mean? AI don't know. AI don't know what good defense is. Here, they don't know. This shit is dumb.
They're essentially tracking how much a defense is loading to a single player. So, for example, Kevin Durant's on there because he might be in a lineup with a bunch of non-shooters. So the defense is gravitating towards him a lot because they're filling the gaps. They're helping on the weak side, stuff like that. Curry's one's interesting because it also tracks off the ball stuff. So when they talk about guys picking up Curry from just after half court, somehow this AI is tracking that, which is why he's got the most, because that happens basically exclusively the whole game. So Curry's probably always going to lead this. I mean, contextually as well, James Harden, he's sort of been their only offense the whole year, which is why he's probably on there as well, when we probably don't think about him in that way that much anymore. You know what I mean? Except for last night, obviously. But since Kawhi's been back, but very interesting stat.
I don't hate this. I actually don't hate this as much as I want to. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like I want to hate this a lot more than I do, because gravity is important.
Do you know what I like about it? Ox? We've never had something tangible to measure how much Steph Curry bends the defense. Like, we see it with our eyes, but we've probably never had a stat. And we talk to Ron's point about the word gravity, but we've never had a stat that tracks.
See, but that's the problem.
Maybe
that's
this
the
is a
problem
cool
there,
answer for some of that.
That's my issue, though. There is no stat. You can't quantify gravity like that. You know what I'm saying? There's just so much that goes into it. I think gravity is something that has to be purely eye test, because you can't. There is no exact formula. Whatever formula they're using is completely inaccurate, and not completely inaccurate. I'm sorry. It has tons of inaccuracies, and there's flaws to whatever formula you're using to track and quantify gravity. You just can't do it. You can't do it. I think this is something that should be left to the eye test more than numbers and stats. So while I think gravity is very important. That's why I don't hate this as much as I want to hate it.
But isn't an eye test also like prone to making errors?
Mm-hmm. Not if you know ball. Not if you know ball. Wait a second. I'm sorry. No. Wait. Let me take that back. Let me take it back. We're talking. Let me take it back because I'm about to. Let me take it back. Yes, it is flawed, Pin. Yes, it is. It is absolutely flawed. But if you know what you're looking at, it's less flawed than depending on an inaccurate formula.
But
the first mention
you're alluding to.
Sorry, Damien. The first mention that I've ever heard of the word gravity as it pertains to basketball was on NBA Storyteller. It's like one of my favorite YouTube content creators. and he talked about Steph Curry's gravity being like this great force. And that's when I started thinking about gravity in a basketball sense. And I think it makes a lot of sense. When Kawhi Leonard grabs the ball at the same place that Keldon Johnson grabs the ball, the defense reacts very differently to those two players catching the ball based on who they are. And that has to matter when the point is making your teammates better.
It does matter, Pin. It does matter. Pin, it matters 100%. I'm for gravity. I believe in gravity. I think gravity exists.
But what if tracking
100%,
data?
But I think tracking it is where we're having a problem.
Well, here's the thing.
This goes back to what Drench was saying the other day. You know what I'm saying? We are trying to put numbers on it to I don't want to say that because I just don't like the way you put it.
Nah, say it.
But there's some shit that's not for everybody. Okay, if you have to put a number on it, it's not. I'm not saying that you don't understand it, but I'm saying it's just not gonna be an accurate number. Pin, that's what I'm saying. It's not gonna be an accurate number. This is something that you have to understand.
But here's the thing, Ox. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect for it to be better, right? Like the iPhone 3 did not have to be perfect for it to be a doorway to us getting a better phone, right? It's not a perfect phone. The Pixel 7 is not a perfect phone. The Mac 7 is not a perfect computer. Like my point is,
everything
this is
have to be
but it's
have to be charted.
But it's the same conversation that we were having with the tanking thing. It doesn't have to be the perfect situation. It just has to be better than the one we have. So what we talk about a lot with, bending defenses. I think people who know basketball have been talking about, scoring force, rim pressure, all these things a lot. You don't have to be a genius to know that Shaquille O'Neal getting on the court and grabbing the ball 2 feet from the basket is going to shatter the defense, because it does every time. The entire floor bends towards him. So
those are the easy ones, though.
Well, of course, but then how do you quantify Eddie Curry versus Michael Olakandi? You know what I mean?
That's the problem. You don't. Y'all want to conquer basketball so bad.
But it's not about conquering.
This is not y'all got now. Don't take this the wrong way, Pin, because I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about people in general. Y'all want to oppress and control basketball. Y'all want to conquer this unconquerable
Is that what
thing.
I'm doing?
Not you, Pin. I just said I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about people in general. We want to control. We want to control something that's uncontrollable. Okay. We can't own basketball.
That to me, like I get what's like when what you and Jordan be talking about, right? As far as like, trying to put a number to everything and trying to quantify everything. But I think I have the wrong point of view of that as far as like the purpose of it and what it's fulfilling. Like, yes, of course, I don't think the answer is ever look at a stat and have the stats replace you watching the games. Like that's never the purpose, in my opinion. The purpose is, like Penn is saying, we don't have anything but people saying we watch it as far as capturing the effect of bending defenses or whatnot. Like, we don't have anything that tracks that. So I'm never mad at anybody or anything trying to, encapsulate what that is and show us how this is impacting the game, or this is how we're trying to track said gravity. If you look at the top of the list, right, doesn't sometimes the numbers do match our eye test. Number one is Steph Curry. Has he not to us been the guy that kind of stresses defenses more than anybody else in the league for some time now? James Harden is on the list because the Clippers outside of him, especially early on in the year, couldn't score. So obviously James was seeing a lot of traps, probably seeing a lot of double teams because people couldn't shoot. So like it's matching up somewhat with the eye test of either or aren't going to be 100% proof, right? But you should never get upset with the attempt to quantify something for better understanding and for like actual data and proof.
Can I say why? Can I real quick, because you're gonna add on top of that, Penn, and I'm not gonna be able to speak to both of them. I just want to say the reason why, real talk, I'm against it is because it's gonna be used. It's not going to be used for
instead
good.
of
it's going to be used as a way for us to to talk about basketball, and people are going to throw these gravity numbers. Well, his gravity is 17.8 compared to his gravity being, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, where are you getting these numbers from? You're getting these numbers from inaccurate formulas. And I think if anything, real talk, I think it could be something like a tier, where these guys are this tier of gravity, these guys are this tier of gravity. We got A tier gravity, B tier gravity, C tier. You're putting exact numbers on it. It's going to be used in things like the PCL. It's gonna, which isn't a great thing. The PCL, the best debate league there ever was. We can't be throwing gravity numbers out there and us acting like these gravity numbers are accurate. But
just like a gravity stat can be misleading, so could your eye test though. Like both are going to be flawed. You just appreciate one of the flaws more than you appreciate the other, I guess.
No. Maps are inaccurate.
See, that's the thing. That's the thing right there. I already said that I think both are flawed to a certain extent.
Yeah.
But when you put a number on it, you give it credit. You get people act like that's a reliable source because you put a number on it. Now people are going to go with that as if it's real. When in all actuality, we have to stop trying to conquer these things. It's like you can't. There's certain things in the regular world, the real world, that you just can't measure. You know what I mean? And at some point, we have to accept that we can't measure it. Humans have this thing where we want to explore everything. We want to control everything. We want to write about everything. We want to say that we are are on top of everything. We're the top of the food chain. We have to accept that basketball is one of those things where we don't get everything, and we're not going to. Let's speak about it without it being so definite. That the gravity thing is not so definite. I've heard times where people up here said, when you watch basketball games, you don't really know what's going on because you're just watching the ball. And I'm sitting there like, that's how y'all watch basketball? I didn't know that. I'm seeing the whole floor. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I think we all have different ways of looking at it. We have to stop trying to put a number on everything, real talk. There's no possible way that this formula is accurate. No possible way.
Hold on, fellas. We got to move on. So I'm gonna let Damien give his take on this, and then we got to move on. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. I think. Real talk, to your point. I'm never against us trying to tell a better story with the game, right? But to Ox, your point as well. I think we saw the rise of analytics really explode in sort of the middle of 2010s, and today a lot of people think the game is worse. So I think that we have to be careful potentially by introducing AI, especially. It has to be done carefully, and we have to make sure we have the right sort of data we're pulling it from and formulas and things of that nature, because it can get messy very, very quickly.
It's the panel. Religion get built on cam. Where the chat throw smoke and the host go ham. You ain't never seen hoops all hit the raw. Every take got weight, every night we drop. This that barbershop. Courtside, worldwide tone. Welcome to the only show that really feel like numbers jumping like the score.